just have to wait until it gets so bad that enough Catholics are on their knees begging God to change it or to pull it straight. Because if God gave us the answer before enough Catholics really wanted the solution, then he would be throwing pearls in front of swine. He's got to wait until enough Catholics are praying seriously enough that he can be sure that if he gives a decent pope, the decent pope will be followed and listened to and respected. Because it seems that John Paul I was going to go after some Freemasons. You know, you remember he died, quote unquote. Well, he died. He had a heart attack, quote unquote, about 33 days after he was elected Pope. And that was in 1978, the year of the two conclaves. And, we don't know exactly what goes on in the Vatican, so who knows, God knows. But it does seem that he was murdered, and he was murdered because he was going to go after some Freemasons. He had, in the hot seat, he had learned, this is what we hear, he had learned that he had some real high-grade traitors right next to him, because they were Freemasons, and he was going to just move them out, and they got rid of him before he got rid of them. And that was, again, God's allowance. God could easily have stopped the poison, in his nightcap poison or whatever it was, from having its effect, if the world had deserved it. The world didn't deserve even a John Paul I, who wasn't ideal, but it looks as though he was going to do something decent, or try to do something decent. The world didn't deserve him, so we got John Paul II instead, which is about as much as we could take, as the world could take. And now France, I hear, is very popular in the media. The media love him. Of course, the media are the bad guys, so...
But I love John Paul too.
But it's probably a popular feeling.
Yeah.
John Paul II certainly also very popular. All the heads of state were there at his funeral, were they not?
Yeah.
So they're going after the world. They want to be loved by the world. But the church has had some terrible popes. I do recommend. I've been writing about it. That book, Plot Against the Church, by Maurice Pinay, P-I-N-A-Y. It's very good. It's the story of the persecution of the church by the Jews for 2,000 years. And it makes a tremendous lot of sense. And there you see, there was a pope in the Middle Ages called Anacletus II, who I think was finally decreed to be an anti-pope. I can't remember. But he was terrible. He was Jewish, and he was going to turn the church over to the Jews, just like today. I was in Poland a few weeks ago, and they tell me there that all of the bishops are Jewish. I don't know if that's exactly true. Jewish or Judeophile, I don't know. But that's the effect of John Paul II. John Paul II had a Jewish mother. And for the Jews, if you have a Jewish mother, you are a Jew. If you have only a Jewish father, you're not necessarily a Jew. You've got Jewish blood, but you're not necessarily a Jew. For the Jews, it goes by the mother. Cardinal Ratzinger had a Jewish mother, a Jewish grandmother, a Jewish great-grandmother. So he was a Jew for the Jews. And he visited the synagogue in Cologne, he visited the synagogue in New York, he visited the synagogue in Rome, I think. He was in and out of the synagogue. And if he was Jewish, he was Jewish. Pope Paul VI was Jewish, had a Jewish mother again. And that means that, for the Jews, they belong to the Jews, and they've got the instincts of a Jew to destroy the church. And the Anacletus was of a Jewish family. He made himself, he was very able, made himself popular inside the church and gained all power and was going to devastate the church. But in the Middle Ages, they had two great saints at that moment. It's all in this book, St. Bernard and St. Norbert. And Bernard and Norbert rallied the Catholics, and they managed to get rid of Anacletus. But today...
Yes, sir. Can you explain